So I got asked, is it a necessary prerequisite to have a background in throwing coming into the Highland Games? No, not at all. A lot of people have done pretty well without it. You do have two sides. I mean, with the pro group, it's probably a little heavier on the previous throwing experience versus not throwers. For the amateurs, is a mix. I think you can be very competitive. I think you can be a decent A without ever having thrown before collegiately or, you know, at the high school level. It's just going to take more time. I mean, people that come in with that background already have a huge heads up on you. So it's just going to take a lot of work and effort, you know, plus the older you are, it's a little trickier to learn technique and build it in since you don't move as well and you don't learn as quickly as you did when you were younger, but it can definitely be done. It's just a matter of you putting in the time and effort. So hope that answered your question, Crowley. Dan Casson asked if about using accommodating resistance for the Highland Games in training. I do some band work. I've done a lot of it over the years. It varies. I use it more if I'm beat up. I just need something different. Same with chains. They're not really a staple part of my program. That's the biggest thing I use accommodating resistance wise is, I mean, good knee wraps work the same way, and so do the slingshot. You know, it's going to be take some weight off the bottom and let you keep moving the weight faster. But I use bands occasionally, like I said. I like them for my assistance lifts as much, probably more than I like them for my regular stuff. So that's usually what I do. I like the idea of keeping to accelerate the weights, and honestly, in training, I'm lazy. I just like putting weight on the fucking bar and lifting and then getting done. Going on with my day. So, Gary, you asked about quality training on the road. How do I find gyms? I guess through Facebook. I mean, many times I've actually just posted and said I'm going to be blah, blah, blah. Who has a place I can train? I get a little bit of response that way. Even, you know, before anyone had any idea who I was, not that many people do, I did it kind of the same way. And just messaged people or went through friends and found garages and stuff like that to train in. I mean, worst case scenario, I mean, 24-hour fitness, I mean, lift's a lift. I mean, I don't live on the road enough that, I mean, I'm not on the road 7 days a week. I only lift 3 or 4 times a week, so I mean, I can get it done on the weekend or whenever. So that's really the way I look at it. It's just about making it a priority and getting to the gym instead of doing other bullshit. So, I mean, it's an hour a day. I mean, hell, I've gotten enough done in hotel weight rooms. I mean, you can do intervals, you can do some sprints on the treadmill. You know, leave the treadmill off and just put it on incline and sprint against it. It super sucks. But, oh well. It's not fun, but you get it done. Favorite whiskey? Jeff asked. Man, it varies. Probably drink the most, probably Blanton's. It's my favorite for having around the house. It's pretty pricey. I mean, it's like 52 bucks a bottle, but I don't drink it terribly often, you know, 1 or 2 glasses a week, probably at most. Outside of that, Basil Hayden's really good. The Eagle River is really, really solid. And then, like, all-time favorite, I mean, you get some nice stuff, like a 23-year-old Pappy Van Winkle is really fucking good, but it's 900 bucks a bottle, so don't drink that very often. Some of the limited edition Blanton stuff is pretty awesome. And, yeah, usually around that stuff. Four Roses stuff is really, really kick-ass too, so those are some of my favorites. Enjoy, Jeff. So, tips to improve footwork, weight for distance. I think his name's Ryan. Get out and throw a shit ton, man. Do some drills. Do just line drills and working on pushing and staying on balance and pushing by you and moving to the next turn. Throw a lot. As far as grip, never really had an issue. You're supposed to be hook gripping. Hook grip it and you don't have to worry about your grip failing. It doesn't feel real good, but that's fucking deal with it. So Tony asked, why do I train solo? And will I do another powerlifting meet? I train solo out of convenience. I have a very, very nice setup in my garage now that I've built over the last 6 or 7 years, and I'm a fucking lazy guy. And so, I mean, I'd love to get home after driving all day or doing whatever it is I had to do for work or what other fucking life got in the way and be like, I don't feel like training, I don't feel like doing this bullshit. Well, I can just come out here and get it done. Doesn't have to be fast. I can do sometimes slow workout, been here for a long time. Other times just get in and knock it out. I want less excuses. And just another inconvenience I'd have to deal with is waiting for some other asshole to show up at my house. And that's not typically how I like doing it. I like having training partners occasionally if somebody's in town or you know, a weekend or something like that when I've got a little bit more time. But I don't really like inconvenience. I don't really like changing my schedule for the sake of someone else's. I don't fucking have to. And so since I don't need a training partner per se, I'm happily motivated on my own. I just seem to keep it that way. You know, it kind of feels good. You know, it's just taking another fucking pacifier away that I need to train. I don't need a good fucking partner. I don't need someone to push me through reps. The way I train is I don't really end up with any weight that's going to punish me. If I'm squatting too heavy, I'll just dump it off my fucking back to the floor. It's not a big deal. So it's not a safety issue. Powerlifting meet, probably not. I don't know. So maybe something stupid would happen. I do another raw meet, but I'm never going to break training right now and train for a powerlifting meet. I don't find them particularly fun. You know, weightlifting meet I did recently was pretty fun, but I mean, even then, the Highland Games are more fun for me. And so I enjoy doing those. I enjoy training for it. I don't know, spending all day fucking doing a powerlifting meet doesn't sound like a lot of fun. I don't mind going to watch them or hang out, but actually compete in it, not so much. So, Eva, how are you? And you asked about, I guess, my social life, and you know, I travel a lot abroad, and I don't really travel abroad that much. Maybe a couple times a year, and you know, I'm only there for like a week or so. It's not like people that disappear for a couple months. You know, how does that leave time for the wife or anything like that? I mean, the other side of it is my real job. When I'm home, most of the day I'm home. I work out of the house. Unless I've got meetings set up, and when I go to meetings, I come back home. I don't go out. I don't do any of that shit. I don't go to the bar really anymore. So, I mean, my wife does yoga and she works out, and so when she's in the gym, I go to the gym. You know, I come in here and I get my work done, or I get up and do cardio while she's still asleep. It's that type of shit. It's figuring out the schedule, but I mean, I really, basically if I'm home, I'm pretty much stuck by her side. That's where I want to be. And I don't really, I mean, I like having friends over and shit like that, but it comes back to anything else. I don't really like, I don't leave in my house very often whenever I'm home. I get, you know, I'm lucky enough I get to see the world and get to see some great stuff, and so I save that time and that push for when those opportunities come. I've done the bar scene and the social life, so I mean, if it's anything, I'm home, I'm going to go do it with her, go out to dinner, or go have some drinks with a couple friends with her. But that's basically it. You know, it's just priorities. Ken's asking about how to break up training for masters athletes or a 50-plus-year-old, how I break up the blocks in Strength Lab. I've got an article, you know, a section in there talking about how to split it up over 2 days a week or 1 day a week or whatever it is you need to do. I recommend doing that, and if the blocks take a little longer, they take a little longer. I mean, if you're trying to scale back and peak, you need to recalculate, you know, your blocks to fit whatever schedule you're going to need to be on. As a 50-plus-year-old, you know, training, the big fucking key for you is don't get fucking hurt and stay healthy. I mean, those sound similar, but they're not. I mean, you can have nagging bullshit that can keep you from throwing at your best, but, you know, or competing at your best or lifting at your best. Whereas hurt's hurt, and man, it sucks getting hurt at 30. I'm sure it's going to even suck more getting hurt at 40, and I'm sure it's really shitty to get hurt past 50. So be smart in your training. That's the biggest part. and you know, spread the days out as you need. I mean, it's not a 6-week program. It's, you know, it's about a year. It's about 2 years. It's about what you're going to accomplish in the next 5 years. It's about being better every day, just by a little bit. You know, one small step. So enjoy.